This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog coming at you with another weekly movie observation and reviews, episode number 5. So I finished all the physical hard copy DVDs that I've gotten from the Des Plaines Library, and I moved on to watching just the movies that I could possibly watch on the two streaming platforms that the Skokie Public Library offers, Hoopla or Canopy. And I started with Hoopla. So the first movie I watched was, you can see this woman here, what she chainsaw everything. That movie was a movie about being pro-life after the woman was pro-abortion, where she had a couple herself, one in the clinic, she worked there. She was the youngest person, all this stuff. And then the fact that she then changed her mind after seeing what happens to abortions later on, yada yada, changed her mind, and she then tried to ruin it. They tried to ruin her. And it wasn't a movie that I'm going to go watch right away because I'm not going to get into religion. I'm not going to get into politics. It's just the Planned Parenthood thing and anti-abortion activism. It's just really, it's basically whatever your opinion is on abortion and your opinion on pro-life, pro-choice, all that stuff. This movie won't sway you. The reviews were like, wow, they don't know how abortion clinics work, and they don't know how the Planned Parent and how the Planned Parenthood works, and nobody knows that thing. So it's flawed because the people writing it don't know what they're doing, and it just was not really great of the movie. So it's definitely a thumbs down. Don't watch it unless you really want to watch a movie that has horrible facts. Now, the next movie I watched was called Back of the Net. Now, the movie Back of the Net is like a Disney Channel children's movie where the plot is stupid. It doesn't make any sense, but it's cute. It's got humor. It's got an inspirational story. It's a cliche movie, you know, person in the wrong place, the wrong time, and then they come to realize they belong where they are. So that is interesting, but it just it was corny as well. So this is what it looks like. It's a Disney Channel movie called Back of the Head. It's like an Australia-based movie where this black girl, she lives in Australia with her parents, and she's the only, and everybody else is Australian. She basically gets on the wrong bus, and she has to go to a camp for soccer, even though she never played soccer. When she's supposed to go to a science academy because her parents are like doctors and they're traveling. The only person that I've ever seen before was the mother. The mother was an actress in the TV show Reef Break as like deputy, mayor of the town or governor of the town, second in command. But everybody else, I've never heard of them. Supposedly this girl is from Disney Channel, so it's interesting. But it's a short movie, doesn't take that long. It's super age appropriate, kid friendly for kids. There's nothing inappropriate in the movie. There's bullying in the movie by the girl that doesn't accept her. There's a love interest story. It's about being friends, feeling accepted. She used science with soccer. She's not good and she's just like the coach on the bench, but then you get that inspirational moment where she's got to come in the game and win the game, and it's not really realistic, but it's like a comeback, story. It's an underdog story. So for being an Australian American movie where it was confusing, it all different races with Australian accents is pretty interesting. And only me recognizing the mother from the movie, and people probably recognize the girl from Disney Channel. Not that long, age appropriate. It's a thumbs up if you want to watch a children's movie that's not inappropriate. And sports movie. The next movie I watched was the movie Freaks. You see that ice cream cone there? See, that movie was labeled like a horror film. It was sci-fi movie, but I thought it was a very boring drama where most of the movie you're confused. Where's this going? Do I want to hate the father or do I not want to hate the father? Because that's the sort of thing. Do you want to hate the father in the movie or not? I don't know. It took so long to realize what he was doing, that he was hiding his daughter, because in this thing, people who have power are shipped away like an X-Man, and that he's just trying to protect her by making up all these lies. He has his own power. She has power. Bruce Dern plays an ice cream man. You find out it's the grandfather. He's trying to protect them. It was very long of a movie for it to take forever to figure out what the heck is going on to make it a horror sci-fi film. And the people that I recognized, obviously, were Bruce Dern. And then it had Grace Park, who, if everybody watches A Million Little Things, she plays like an agent in there, and I really don't believe her as that. Maybe it's because of her role. And then there's a woman named Michelle Harrison who Everybody would, if you watch The Flash, you recognize her before. She was like the neighbor's daughter, the neighbor's mother, but the Cross Street one. So basically, interesting plot, trying to make it like a X-Men movie where people don't accept you, but it took way too long to get to the story of why the father's keeping her trapped in the house, what Bruce Dern's role is, the mother, all these things. It took forever for it to figure out. So when you're watching an hour, 40-something minute movie and you get to a point where it's like, I'm watching a lot of this movie, I don't get it, it's weird, it's stupid, you kind of then lose interest. So it's like not that great. So I would not recommend the movie. And the last movie I got to watch this week was The First King. Okay, The First King was supposed to be like a true story about Romulus and Remus. It was, in like Latin or Italian, so it was just like, yeah. And if you're thinking, if a movie's 2 hours long plus, if it's an action movie, there's got to be enough action. If it's a sci-fi and comedy, there's got to be enough science fiction or comedy. If it's a drama, it's got to be well written. But this movie was way too long and wasn't like that great of a movie to begin with because it's confusing how the Romulus and Remus get together, where they go, things like that. It just took very long to figure out what was going on. And it's not because it was in another language. It was just way too long and just all over the place of a movie to really get what's going on. So unless you really are a history buff and want to watch a movie that's an Italian movie in Latin about Romulus and Remus, go right ahead. Just going to warn you, it's long and kind of drags on a bit. So I would not suggest The First King, which is, this guy right here. Yeah, The First King. I would not suggest that movie. I would not suggest the movie Freaks, the sci-fi horror film with Bruce Dern and Grace Park. I would not really suggest a movie Unplanned unless you really want to watch a crappily told movie about abortions and the people who are against them. And the kids movie Back of the Net, because it was a kids movie, there was humor in it, it was inappropriate, it was a sports movie, it was an underdog story. It's the only one I would suggest because also it was short. Thanks for listening to another edition of On the Radar, movie reviews and observation number 5. See you guys next time.